beauty of the Paul document on the internet freedom is that it exposes the authors for what they are. Yes, small government, anti-regulation ideologues that will use any issue, particularly those that are so dear to young people, to further their deeply anti-democratic agenda. The document is the normal libertarian talking points with a thin veneer of internet freedom over it. It's a joke and defies the reason that libertarians try so desperately to lay claim to. I would go one step further. Small government, anti-regulation ideologues. That's how they would characterize themselves. But the reality is they're not for small government per se. Because what does small government mean? Relative to what? How do you define small government? We should only have 50 people in the government. Or we should only spend 0.0000001% of our GDP on government services. Or it should just be an army and a police force. Or it should just be a fire department. No. What Rand and Ron Paul are corporate feudalists. And they operate under the guise of whatever small government means. This undefinable thing. To allow for corporate interests, capitalist interests who control the capital, to dominate unfettered over everyone. That is what they're promoting. That is what their internet document, whatever it's called, Internet freedom from the Campaign for Liberty, the technology revolution, whatever that document, whatever they're calling it. That is what that document says. It says that the internet, which is as necessary as any utility to people at this point, should be controlled by corporate fiefdoms. Because they will operate in the best interests of people, which is a lie. And they can dress it up with this whole notion of government stuff and this. I agree there are problems with government, of course. Like there are problems with any institution. That story of that guy in Florida, the lifeguard, who goes and breaks company policy to save a drowning man, leaving his area supposedly unprotected, but he knew that there was another lifeguard who was going to take over, saves a drowning man, pulls this guy onto shore, and then is summarily fired by the corporation that hired him for breaking corporate policy. After the story gets wide exposure, they come and hire him again. Does that mean there should be no corporations? No. It means every institution makes policies that are wrong-headed. Every institution does it. But we know that corporations serve one agenda: to maximize their profits. When they're working in their best capacity. And the reason why they exist, it is to maximize their profits. When government is functioning in its best capacity, it is to serve the broad base of people's interests. Does that happen all the time with government? No. Does it happen the majority of the time? I would argue yes, but barely. But is the solution to destroy government? To strip it of its regulatory power? Because all you'll be left is those corporations which have limited legal liability, an enormous amount of cash, and a desire to do whatever it takes to maximize their profits. So whether it's the pharmaceutical companies lying about their test results whether it's corporations trying to buy government so that their regulations can benefit them, whether it's cutting corners for safety, consumers, and workers, it doesn't matter. The point is, government at its best is far better than corporations at their best. And unless you come up with some third entity, that's why they had to say the hand is invisible, because nobody ever sees it. Those are your two choices. So you make the best of government.
When I first read the that Internet Freedom Manifesto from the Pauls, I was wondering who were they trying to please with that? Because I mean, other than like the usual libertarian crowd, they were really, especially Ron, was really able to get the young internet crowd to rally behind him for his presidential campaign. And I mean, these people who are, I saw it on Reddit and a number of other sites, the same people who were going like, Ron Paul 2012, Ron Paul 2012, and every comment, when this came out, they were just like, what? Like,
well, I mean, the bottom line is this, is that the Pauls are corporatists. And like any type of libertarian, when the idea of unfettered corporate control of something actually starts to impact you in a negative way, then whoa. Right? Everybody's a libertarian until it infringes upon what they like.